the big matchup of this game, the quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes versus Brock Purdy. The two quarterbacks everyone knew was going to be there at the end all year, right?
Yep,
The two
of course.
superstar quarterbacks. Literally, no one hates on them ever. But what do you expect? I guess we'll start with Brock, because yeah, he's been getting a lot of shade thrown at him as of late. The players have took it in stride. But what do you expect from Brock Purdy this game?
I expect him to be the same Brock Purdy he's been the entire year. Cool, calm, collected, ready to make a play when he needs to make plays, ready to be mobile when he needs to be mobile. I think that's sneaky, like something that defenses don't really expect. I think Spagnola, of course, is going to really draw up some shit that he's never seen before. But Brock is the type of guy to make arrogant throws when needed. And he knows himself and he knows his capabilities. And I think that he will make plays. Realistically, what it's going to come down to is a few plays here and there. Can you convert on third down? Can you extend drives? Can you make sure that your guy gets the ball and can get an extra 1 or 2 yards? And so we'll see what he has. And I think that, again, just like the Kyle Shanahan talk, like we start to then, if Brock Purdy does win the Super Bowl, I think a lot of people are going to be like, well, it's because of his team. It's because of this. It's because of that. But then he's so young and he's already taken them to 2 NFC championships back to back. What can this guy really do? Look at this story. It's an awesome story. So I'm ready. I think that Brock is ready. I think that we're all ready to see what he can do. And I think he's going to shine pretty brightly.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see Brock. I mean, and then that story coming out that Kyle said that Brock Purdy was their best quarterback when he was third stringer, and it's crazy. Like he's been showing this since day one. I loved the pick when we drafted him at first, and I gotta go pull up that tape so people believe me. I put it's on the show somewhere on this YouTube channel where I was saying Brock Purdy is the future the day he got drafted. So I just want to throw it out there. I mean, you can confirm you're a witness.
Yeah, I seen it. He did say that. And I was like, you're full of shit.
And my vision has come true, and I definitely think he has a shot as long as he doesn't make some bad interceptions. And what we've seen from Brock in this playoffs is he's been clutch in crunch time, and that's what people were kind of criticizing before. We've lost a couple games at the end there, and he hadn't really had the opportunity to come back and win. And now we've seen it twice, and I think he's just going to be cool, calm and cool under pressure. And this is the perfect moment for him and that kind of attitude that he brings for this team. So, expecting a great game, and I'm expecting even if he struggles early, to have that game-defining drive at the end.
Yeah, and I think again it goes to the Kyle Shanahan conversation of why is Kyle so loose? Why, like we've seen the Jimmy Garoppolo experience where we got to the Super Bowl and it was really kind of in spite of Jimmy Garoppolo. And I hate to say that because he did have a good run with the 49ers, but even Kyle was like just tensed up the entire time, didn't really feel confident in it. You could see he has just all the confidence in the world when it comes to Brock Purdy. He's ready to let it rip. He's ready to, I'm not afraid to call this on third down. I know that you're going to make the right decision. Go ahead and go for it. The ball's in your hands. And so I think he's going to make that step. And I think ultimately, I think the 49ers are going to win this game.
Yeah, and going to Patrick Mahomes and that Chiefs offense, a lot going on for Pat. I mean, we're not going to really dig into it, but obviously he's going through family struggles and people trying to ask him at the press conference about it. And now Kadarius Toney comes back and he's saying he wasn't bashing the Chiefs, so a little drama there. Travis Kelsey saying they tried to say that he made up the taper fade. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of like weird storylines coming from the Chiefs, and for like the 49ers, it feels like they've been just hanging out, having a good time, and now they're going to get to business. But how do you think Patrick Mahomes is going to look in this game with an aging Travis Kelsey who's looked amazing in his playoffs, but now he brings back this receiving core that has been questionable?
I mean, Patrick Mahomes does Patrick Mahomes things. And so I think he is going to be a tough son of a bitch to get down. I think that he is going to extend plays. He's going to find receivers after moving out of the pocket and just finding someone wide open. It's bound to happen with Patrick Mahomes. But where this defense can really kind of hone in is they're going to get after the quarterback. They're going to make those windows short because now our secondary is looking a lot better. And then two, one thing is the linebacking core. is so underrated. It might be the best linebacking tandem in the game, and they're going to be all over Travis Kelce. And so that's the one thing that we can't, like, I feel pretty good about is I think that they're going to be just draped all over Travis Kelce this entire game, and he's going to have to find different people to really step up. And if you take that away, this receiving core is not that great.
I have 19.5 receiving yards this week, so I'm expecting him to go to some of these other guys. And good point about the linebackers because Oren Burks doesn't get any love like on from the media or anything. This guy he plays pretty good ball, and he contributes to that amazing linebacking squad.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And where they're going to have exposure is on the back end, the safeties. Like, is Jair Brown going to be playing? Who's going to be playing at that safety spot? And how are they going to fare when you have the brightest lights on you in the biggest game of the year? Like, can you just hold your assignment, not get beat deep? Because we know Patrick Mahomes is going to test them. Like, we know ultimately when it's going to come down to it, he's gonna chuck it deep because even though they don't have the greatest weapons, they still have the greatest quarterback.
Yeah, it's gonna be an exciting battle. I mean, the secondary, our corners at least are. I'm hoping Ambry Thomas comes in and plays a solid game. He's had a little bit of struggles, but I don't think you can move off him, especially loving Demo in the slot. Demo Lenore, just solid. If it does come down to it, are you open to kicking Demo back out to that outside corner spot?
Yeah, I think, but I mean, I'm not really too worried about any of those receivers, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah,
Like, they've been very inconsistent. They don't really score. Even in the back half of that Ravens game, they didn't really do a whole lot. So it's, again, if you're going to win any Super Bowl against the Chiefs, it has to be this year against this team. They're they've been the worst offense that they've been under the Mahomes era. They willed their way to get here, and now it's just time to put them to sleep.
let's get it. Any predictions for the score of this game before we get into our Super Bowl MVP talk?
Yeah, I mean, so the lines opened up and they were, I want to say it was 2.5. The 49ers were the favorites by 2.5. I wouldn't have taken that. I'm going to be honest. I'm not. But I know it shifted. It was at one point Chiefs won. Now I think it's back settled to 49ers -1. I think ultimately it's going to be a pick 'em game. Um, I think the 49ers end up winning by 4 points.
That's exactly what I have. 49ers by 4. And
Yeah.
I think it could be too like 49ers up 2 scores and then a late touchdown brings it to within 4.
Yeah, I could see that happening. I think the 49ers win it. I think they have too many weapons on offense. This team is too good. They have too many veterans. This defense is settled. We understand what we're going to give. We're going to give. We're going to bend, but don't break. I just think that ultimately the Chiefs' struggles in the second half to score points is going to catch up to them, and their inability to really stop the run. I think Christian McCaffrey is going to run all over him. So that's my score. I think 49ers win by 4 points.